quite disconcerting that the child would be kept from obtaining immediate medical care to deal with a broken bone. Things culminate with December 17th, 2011, when Justin DePietro calls 911 saying the child has been abducted. The police immediately respond, of course, and after they respond, they hear from Phoebe DePietro, Justin DePietro's mother, that Phoebe was there the evening before. The doors were locked that night. There was no partying going on. Everything was as one would hope with 3 young children in the household. It turns out that Phoebe DePietro was not telling the truth. She later confessed that she told that lie covering for her son, Justin. I became involved in this case because I'm a former judge of probate here in Cumberland County, and the process of having Ayla declared dead is something that I was able to do efficiently. I've done this for pro bono, and I'm continuing to work pro bono on this for the most part. When we served Justin paperwork in California, Los Angeles, California, informing him that we were commencing a probate proceeding in the Cumberland County Probate Court to determine Ayla's death and to have him brought to court in that regard. When the process server served him, the process server said, "Are you Justin DePietro?" And he said, "No, I'm not Justin DePietro." I sent a photocopy of a mugshot of Justin DePietro, and the process server had the photograph with him and said, "Geez, you look remarkably like this man in the photograph. You've been served." At another point, we had to serve him a second time for a further proceeding in the probate court. Never once did he respond, never once did he appear to contest any matters in this matter. In June of 2017, Ayla Reynolds conducted a polygraph with a private investigator, a licensed polygrapher here in Maine, Mark Casino. And in the materials that I've handed out to you all earlier are many of the documents I've just described to you. But there's also a report from polygrapher Casino that Trista Reynolds took the polygraph and passed the polygraph. The last time Trista Reynolds ever saw Ayla was November 21st of 2011, some month before Ayla was claimed to have been abducted, but unfortunately we know it was worse than that. So Judge Mazziotti ultimately entered an order on September 17th of 2017 declaring Ayla dead as of December 17th, 2011. With that, we did further investigation on this. We have a number of people helping us. It's just been amazing how people, when they hear what we're trying to do, will volunteer without compensation to investigate. We've had blood spatter experts offer to help. We've had other type of forensic experts. I'm hoping to be able to raise the funds to hire a criminologist to help us with this matter. But the immediate future will be for us to conduct what is called discovery. We created a GoFundMe page, and Jeff, you're here. Thank you. This is Jeff Hansen. He is Trista's stepfather, and he's been very helpful in this matter. He's created the GoFundMe page. We're hoping people can help in that regard. This will be an expensive investigation, simply as far as expenses go, without talking about attorney fees. I'm going to ask Trista to speak in a moment, but that is something that Jeff has created. And Jeff, can you briefly describe how that works?
The site is called GoFundMe.com/Justice for Ayla Reynolds. And it's in the packet that you passed out earlier. We'd appreciate it if you put it on the articles that you do online. And it's really just to collect funds needed to get this case going further. There's really no substantial monetary value in this case. We're only here for answers for Ayla, find out to lay Ayla to rest, and for justice for her. And that's all it's all about. So please check it out, and please put it with the articles online.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeff. Now, I did try to serve Justin DePietro with this lawsuit that has just now been filed in the Cumberland County Probate Court. And as I mentioned earlier, the docket number on this is 18566. But you do have copies of the complaints and the materials I've handed out, so you don't need to go and ask the clerk for a copy that you already have it. Now, with this lawsuit, we're trying to find out how Ayla was killed, why she was killed, and where she was killed. And to do that, we intend on taking the depositions of many of the people that were involved in this matter. We obviously, I think most of the people in the state could probably recite the facts of that evening, but there are other individuals who were involved with, particularly the DePietro family, that we intend on interviewing, perhaps deposing, perhaps doing a video depositions of them, and having some body experts watch how they react during questioning to see if we can discern the truth in this matter. So, just in conclusion, I'm going to ask Trista to speak right now, and if you could, Trista. Introduce yourself.
Trista, Ayla's mom. So today marks 7 years since Ayla was taken from me. Not a day goes by that I am not haunted by what happened to Ayla. For 7 years, I've asked myself who would want to hurt such an innocent little girl that was filled with so much spunk. Who would want... I asked myself, what could have Ayla done for Justin to do this to her? When did she really pass away? Was it the night of December 16th or was it the morning of December 16th? I mean December 17th. I asked myself, where could have Justin put Ayla's body? And my final question that I ask myself every day is, did Ayla cry out for me? Did she wonder where I was, knowing I should have been there to protect her and save her? Or was she that strong girl and wondered why her daddy was doing this to her? I'm not a perfect parent, but who is? What I do know is I love my children and I will always be their voice. In the last 7 years, I have fought to get Ayla closure, and maybe this is, and maybe I finally get to lay her to rest. As we hit Ayla's anniversary, I wonder if this is haunting you, Justin. I wonder if our daughter haunts your dreams, or if you see her blue eyes when you close your eyes at night. I wonder if you even think about that night you murdered her. Murdered our daughter and took her life from her. We both know your story of Ayla being abducted is not real. So why not be the voice for our daughter and tell me the truth? It's funny, you run and you hide from what you did to our little blue-eyed hair girl that you once called Princess. Justin, I promise you, wherever you are, one day you will have to face me and tell me the truth what really happened to Ayla. That night, you can't hide from this forever. Eventually, it will eat at you, and I know I will get justice for Ayla, and I won't stop fighting for justice. I'll live inside a courtroom till the day I get my justice for her.
Now, does anybody have any questions of Trista or me or private investigator Kevin Cady?
Trista, what was the last time you talked to Justin?
I want to say like 6 years ago.
Do we know where he is now? Did you serve?
We don't. We were unable to serve him. We sent a process server out to California at his last known address in Los Angeles. The inhabitants of that residence said he had left. They didn't know where he moved to. According to the documents that's contained in that package of materials I gave out to you, the process server in California was able to determine his last known address in California as the parking garage at the Compton County Courthouse. We don't believe he's residing there.
Do we
So
know?
we're asking your help in finding Justin DePietro so that we can serve him.
Do we know if state police have tracked him or know where he is?
I'm not sure exactly where the state police stand on that. In that regard, you could put that question to them, of course.
Do you have any update in the status of the state police investigation?
Do we have? I'm sorry, sir.
Do you have any new information in the status of the state police?
They have shared some of the forensic evidence with us. We have a lot of documents, photographs of the crime scene. to some extent, they're working independently of us as well. I'm dealing with the Attorney General's office. Maggie Lim has been the primary person, and Lisa Marchese, of course, both homicide prosecutors. I've met with Detective Love as well, who's my contact person at the state police.
Given that people that were there that night haven't spoken about what happened,
Well, I think as part of the probate proceedings, we last year, the summer of 2017, took the depositions of Alicia DePietro, Justin's sister, who was home that evening, and Courtney Roberts, who was who is Justin's former girlfriend, who was also present on Friday night, December 16th, Saturday morning, December 17th.
how did that affect your decision to go forward with this case?
There was nothing from either of those depositions that caused me to conclude that this case was an abduction, and that I think the state police have this exactly right when the individuals who were in the house that evening have not been completely forthcoming, and there's more information that they have not shared with us. I offered both Courtney Roberts and Alicia DePietro to take a polygraph with polygrapher Tessino, the one who did Trista's polygraph previously, and both women declined. I'm hoping that they'll reconsider that. Polygraphs are a great tool. They're not ample evidence by themselves, but they're a great tool in finding the truth.
Sir, when you say you want justice in this case, what do you consider justice as an end result?
Justice will be finding out where Ayla was killed, how she was killed, and why she was killed. That will be justice in this case. We would like to find her remains if possible. Given the passage of time and the extensive search that the state police have already done on this matter, it's likely that we're going to actually unearth her remains, but we would very much hope to accomplish that end. Finding out who's responsible is also something we're intending on doing.
You mentioned that you're hoping to depose a number of other people.
Yes.
Are you able to say who those people
No, at this point, I really don't want to reveal I have an overall strategy in this matter. The actual tactics that will be involved, we need to keep that somewhat under wraps so as to have our campaign go forward as we planned.
Is Justin the only one named in the wrongful death lawsuit?
Yes, that's correct.
And for people who don't understand, the criminal matter versus the civil matter,
I usually use the O.J. Simpson case as a reminder to people, because some of us that have been around for a while remember that well. And there was actually two O.J. Simpson cases. There was the People of California versus O.J., where O.J. was presumed to be innocent, and the government had to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that O.J. was responsible for the murders of Ron and Nicole. And then after that, there was a civil lawsuit, which is what we're doing, a civil lawsuit where O.J. was sued for causing the wrongful death of Nicole and Ron. And in that case, he wasn't presumed to be innocent. In that case, it wasn't proof beyond a reasonable doubt. Rather, in that case, it was a preponderance of the evidence, 51%. So it's on the scales of justice. We have to tip the scales one percentage point in our favor. And in that case, the O.J. Simpson had to submit to a deposition, and as will Justin DePietro will have to submit to a deposition, assuming you folks can help us find him.
Are you seeking damages here, or are you just looking for answers?
Well, we're of course seeking monetary damages, but based on my understanding of Justin DePietro's financial situation, he doesn't have any assets to speak of. We're more so looking for the truth.
Do you have an idea of what that truth is?
I'm sorry,
Do you
sir.
have any detailed idea of what the narrative of what happened that night is?
I'd rather not reveal that at this point. We have our understanding of it, but at this point, I don't wish to reveal that to Justin DePietro.
Besides publicity, are there any other methods for trying to track him? I'm assuming you guys have already tried to, go through any sort of records or any.
You'll see in the package materials that I handed out, the process server in California did a pretty exhaustive search within California, looking in jails, looking in hospitals. The There is another way to serve people, of course, and that's by what we call publication. And we may have to resort to that. But that's not going to get a deposition subpoena to DePietro, which is really what I intend on doing in this matter.
Is there something that you will be doing today or that you do during the holidays to remember Ayla? Something that gives you a little bit of comfort?
Well, I light a pink light every year on the 1st of December for her anniversary, but also for Christmas. This Christmas marks 8 years since we've shared a Christmas together. And normally I just set off some balloons and light a candle with the boys and kind of just keep it private.
Thank you all for coming very much. I appreciate it, particularly given the weather.
Thank you.
Do you mind?